It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Friday morning. This is Expresso on SABC3. Now, until very recently, the outlook for patients in South Africa with extensive burns was very bleak, and the best that they could hope for were highly specialized transplant techniques depending on the availability of resources. But burn victims face long, of course, and excruciating hospital stays, mixed results, and at the end of the day, high bills to pay. Now, challenging this prognosis is a team of South African doctors at the Tygerberg Hospital who have made medical history by devising a cheap and effective way to grow skin for burn victims. And joining us on the line in Cape Town to talk to us about this medical advancement is the head of the Western Cape Department of Health, Dr. Beth Engelbrecht. Thank you very much for taking our call this morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Now, this technique is truly remarkable. I think that's just the way of describing it in the least. And it's, in a sense, offers treatment at a fraction of the cost. I understand that at 1,000 Rand, these procedures can now be done at a normal hospital. So how has this been made possible?
Just to clarify that the 1,000 Rand that's being referred to is the technique, the cost of the technique,
Yes.
and it's a cost of the various components that is used to grow the skin in a very basic area in a ward that they can, in a separate area but is sterile, they can grow the skin in an incubator and then it's immediately available directly to the patient.
Yes.
So the cost refers to those elements. You still need a fully fledged theatre, you still need a critical care environment, and you still need a surgeon. But the benefit is that in the past we had to import the growth of these cells, which is Epicel, from the States, and the same cost of what we could grow for 1,000 Rand, we would have paid 1.8 million for the other technique.
That is absolutely incredible. And I understand that so far it's been successfully used, this technique, for the past 2 years on 2 patients. Just explain to us how the recovery process of this technique differs from previous methods that have been used before.
So the first patient was done in October last year, and it's largely a patient who did not have any real outcome to survive. And this technique was then used as just to make sure that we could get some survival of this patient. So the skin was then grown in this incubator and then transplanted back on the patient's surface. And in a theatre environment, the patient went back to critical care, and whilst the patient in the past was in ICU for 3 months, within 2 weeks the patient could get out, and the nutritional status got better, and the patient could really see the skin was growing, and the patient did much better. So clearly it is, at the moment, it's still in the phase where it's part of a research project, but clearly the fact that it had such remarkable impact, the need was to make it known to other people, and especially in other resource-constrained countries and environments, this technique could be used.
Wow, and also, I mean, that is a great breakthrough, especially when you were talking about the difference in the cost right now. But also, why would you say also this is such a great breakthrough in terms of the South African health sector?
I think what's important is that it's a massive cost benefit. Apart from just the technique that we just spoken about, the patients afterwards do not need immunosuppressants, which is extremely costly, and very often they have to use it for many, many months. So in this instance, they don't need that. So the cost benefit is one of the biggest factors. And it's also safe. And it can be done in a local setting. So in a resource-constrained environment like ours, and it's in the country, we've got only 3 adult major burns centres, and these centres could then use it and give hope to many, many more patients with these massive implications. So I think that the fact is that we can give hope to more patients. It's cost-effective and it's safe.
Indeed. Dr. Engelbrecht, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much. Keep well.
There you have it. Medical advancements, in fact, history being made right here in our own backyard. South Africa is indeed alive with possibility. Right now, time for us to catch up on the early morning headlines with Graham.